you are someone who is needing to check their banking app before they go and do something delicious and delightful for themselves, this video is going to be for you. Whilst I love a bit of manifesting, we're actually really into practical stuff in this video. 7 simple things you can do. You can go away, you can pause this video and you can go and do each of them, and they, you know, you can be done in 10 minutes. I just kind of got sick of being always saying to my kids, no. Can we do this? Can we do that? No. I was sick of being someone who was like, you can have drink or a snack, you can't have both. If you're going to have a snack, you have water. I love, you know, I love healthy boundaries, and I love for my kids to understand the value of money, but also I would love to just be able to say yes. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't have a money problem, I did have a mindset problem. And we have got systemic inequity, we have got gender conditioning, we have got shame, we've got all this stuff, and there's something we can do about it. Yeah, so the first thing I want you to think about is identity stuff. If you're someone who is failing at a budget every single month, if you are someone who has been shamed into thinking that a budget is going to resolve this, I want to talk about something a little bit different here. Yeah, because what I want you to think about is feeling awful about failing yet again at this budget going to serve you in 90 days? So instead of feeling like that about it all, you're going to go through your business bank statement. Yeah, you're going to look at every single payment. Yeah, does this serve future me? No judgment, just data. Typically, clients find $200 to $800 a month in savings, yeah, which is normally a client or two. Then we're going to look at identity boundaries. You're going to look at last month's statement. What jumps out at you? An amount that you're spending on someone you no longer want to be. Yeah, and that can be your personal bank account. That can be subscriptions that are no longer who you are. That can be things you purchased that were going to be on the one-day list that are another day, or the things that you just outgrown. Shift 2, we're going to think about mama bear energy, yeah? And we're going to channel some of that mama bear energy for you. I know, it's going to take practice, right? We are able to be incredibly fierce for our kids, yeah? And now we're going to get fierce for ourselves. When you think about the energy that you put into protecting your kids, advocating for your kids, you're going to start using that same energy in advocating for yourself. You're going to start treating yourself like someone that you really love and someone that deserves to be protected. Yeah. And you're going to apply that to your pricing, your boundaries, and your business. Yeah. And I know that we're conditioned against it. When that situation comes, I want you to go into yourself and I want you to think about the last time you had to advocate passionately for your kid. Yeah. And I want you to think about the way it felt, the words you used, the activity that was going on within you. Yeah. What did you do and say? And then you're going to write that down. What if I apply that to this situation? Whether it's pricing, client boundaries, whatever. Yeah. You're going to sit with that discomfort. It's going to be a little bit of discomfort. And then you're going to do it anyway. You're going to be brave. Yeah. So shift 3. Lots of people talk about financial freedom, and you know, I will have used this on a YouTube video. I would definitely have used this on a social media thing, because people are very attracted to financial freedom. Yeah. We're going to talk about financial autonomy. Yeah. And it's not sexy. It's like, you know, fiber is the unsexy sibling to protein. So you're going to stop chasing financial freedom, beach life, Bali life, whatever. And you're going to start thinking about building financial autonomy. Autonomy is the power to say no. The autonomy is the power to get out. Autonomy is the power to say yes to things you really want to do. When you want to say no, it's about saying no to a bad relationship, manipulative relationship. It doesn't have to be with a partner. It could be with a family member or another business owner. It means that you can say no to disrespectful clients, disrespectful colleagues. It means you can take a day off without guilt. It means you can buy the treat. Yeah, you can buy whatever it is going to light you up. Financial autonomy is your North Star. You're going to complete this sentence. If I had financial autonomy, the first thing I'd say no to is. That's your North Star. People worry about, is that too negative? No, the stuff already exists, yeah? This is about you taking action to mitigate it, to move past it. Okay, beautiful client. I love my clients, very passionate about my clients. In a session, said to me, I've raised my prices. Depending if it's individual work or couple or throuple work, it's 160 to 200 an hour. This therapist was delighted. Yeah, absolutely. So pleased, so proud. You know, absolutely in that mode of I'm doing the work. Like, I'm doing the work. There was a disconnect because they were still feeling burnt out. They were still not where they wanted to be. Yeah. And when we looked into the numbers, the actual reality was that the majority of clients were grandfathered in at $50 an hour. Resentful, burnt out, working evenings, weekends, just not getting to where they want to get to, right? Working together, took everything off grandfathered pricing. Yeah, and we do this with care and kindness and giving them a soft place to land. So that might be, this is the time it's going to take us to get to my current pricing. It can be, this is a different therapist who is currently working at that rate for whatever reason. Moving them off the grandfathered rate can be done with your values, but it needs to be done. My client had actually doubled their rates. And then I got a message last night to say, raised them again. It's changed. That client started to post content that they'd been sat on their Google Drive for a year. That content started to get them attraction and interest from colleagues around the world because they are actually a leader in their field. That client stopped letting scarcity run their business, and that feeling of I've done all the work, I don't understand why it's not working. When I'm working with a client like this, it's name the cognitive dissonance. Again, I said, this is not sexy, right? This is fiber to protein, okay? But it's gonna have the best outcome for you. Yeah, so get honest. There's a gap between what you say and what is true. Like I just said, I raise my prices, but actually everyone is grandfathered. I don't work weekends. Oh my gosh, I hear this so much. Oh, I only work 4 days a week and I don't work weekends. Okay, but you answer your emails on Sunday and you reply to text messages in the evenings. Where's the truth, right? I'm fully booked. But you're not making enough. Okay. This isn't about shame. This is about seeing things clearly. I want you to get honest. Write one thing that you tell yourself that might not be fully true. I'm giving that to you, okay? Might not be fully true. Just one. Everything we do together is data. In my work, we're always balancing what is systemic and what is personal. One of the things my boundaries mentor shares with all of her students is that advice you can't take is not for you. Yeah, so everything is wrapped in that. I try understand where people are at, and I try and give advice that is useful and helpful. And if this stuff isn't landing, then it's okay. It's not for you. Yeah. If it is landing, let's talk. This is the situation. 90% of our problems are systemic and we're still responsible for solving them. Okay. It's a both situation. Gender pay gap, real, exists. Motherhood penalty, real, exists. Racism, ableism, real, exists. And every other version of that, yeah? And you still need to eat. Your kids still need to eat. You deserve joy and happiness and an absence of fear in your life, right? So we're not going to do victim blaming. We know the system is broken, yeah? And you are the only one that can change your relationship with money. If you're waiting for justice, if you're waiting for an apology, if you're waiting for someone in your family to say sorry and do better, then you're just going to stay stuck forever. This is what you're going to go and do. Write down, the system has failed me by, and then you're going to write, within this broken system, I have control over. You're going to need to take a breath, yeah? And that's going to feel empowering, because there is nothing like taking action to feel empowered and like you've got ownership over this and like you can do something about this. And yeah, you can, right? Okay, shift 6. You're going to plug your money leaks. The one thing that people will say again and again, or that at 3 a.m. normally, is, I need more clients. I don't have enough clients. Yeah, and it could be, my people are normally booked, busy and broke, yeah? you're already making enough, the money's just leaking. This can look like 90-minute sessions when they paid for 50 minutes. This can look like you cosplaying at equality. What's cosplaying at equality look like? That can look like pick your own pricing. Yeah, you've seen people go, okay, so I think that I want to serve the underserved, so I'm going to do pick your own pricing. You can pay from, 0 all the way through to 200. And you choose that pricing, and you're shifting the responsibility over onto the purchaser. And then what generally happens, people get butthurt when people choose not to pay them or pay them very little. Service swaps that are never reciprocated, or they're reciprocated unfairly. So you, because you're an amazing person and you're generous and you're kind and you have massive care in what you do, you will over deliver to that person, and in the reciprocation of that, they will give you yesterday's leftover baked goods. Unequal. The other one people like to do, and again, it's under the guise of being kind and caring and trying to bring equality into the world, is scholarships. Yeah, so I see this a lot with my clients because they care deeply, yeah? So they award scholarships. They go, right, this is really important to me, that people who are underserved, people who do not have access to my work, which is needed, I'm going to offer scholarships. But no one's funding those scholarships. You are funding those scholarships out of your time, yeah? So scholarships, amazing, yes. How they're put into place in your business is the key. So this is your activity. You're going to find a leak. And once you find one leak, as happens to my clients, you start seeing leaks everywhere. You're going to look at last month. You can look through your diary, you can look through your inbox, look through your journal, whatever. What did you give away in time or expertise when you didn't want to? And what boundary could have prevented that? Yeah, what's the new thing that we can do to prevent that happening next time? Again, no shame. We're not mingirling ourselves for last time. No shame. Shift 7, not asking, not offering is denying access. Every time you don't make an offer, you are denying someone access to help. This is the reframe that my people need. You are stuck in that feeling of, if you make an offer, you're going to be that pushy sales guy. You're going to be that car salesman. You're going to be that estate agent. You're going to be that realtor. You're going to be that, someone who gives you the ick and makes your skin crawl, because you're going to feel like you are completely coming over onto someone and messing with their boundaries, messing with, their right to say no, and you're going to feel like totally gross about selling. And I want you to use this reframe, is that making an offer is an act of service. And we like our acts of service, right? When you don't ask them, so this is what I want you to think. When I don't ask them, I'm not protecting them. I'm denying them autonomy to choose, and I've already decided for them. And actually, they get to choose. They get to say yes or no. It's their choice. This is your activity. One person who could benefit from your work right now. And you're going to send them a message this week. It could be an email. It could be a DM. It could be a phone call. It could be a letter. It could be a postcard. It's not a pitch. It's an invitation. So you're going to pick one shift. You're going to commit to that for 7 days. You're going to comment below which one resonates. Which is the one that made you think, how does she know what I'm thinking at 3 a.m? You're going to tag someone who needs this, because we all know someone who needs this. And you're going to go to makeandkeepmoney.com. You're going to click book a call, and you're going to come talk to me.